Hello, my name is Mia Villeneuve, and welcome to our Learning Garden, where we will be growing together. First, I want to go through the soils, which is the foundations of my practice, and everything grows out of the soil. First, we have the Vibes soil, which the Vibes plant is growing out of. The Vibes plant is supported by DBP, and of course, we have DAR as our signpost here. So DBP strategies can support these specific skills that our students can implement, and DAR is a reflection tool that we can use to sort of gauge our understanding. I can gauge my students' understanding and reflection after the process. Up next, we have the Pedagogy of the Oppressed and Theater of the Oppressed soils. These two sort of go together in my mind, and I came up with this symbol to sort of represent my pedagogy, which is a triangle representing the hierarchical model of school/theater, moving to a circle, which is a more collaborative community representation of school/theater. Out of the Paulo Freire sand soil comes the problem posing method arrow signpost. And the problem posing method really is an arrow because everything that I do moves forward from here. Right? And so for more examples of that, we can look to the Augusto Boal soil, out of which grows the image work and role work flowers. So using these two techniques, students can develop multiple skills like dialogic meaning making, empathy, and perspective taking. And this is my favorite part. Out of the student-centered learning soil, we have multiple beans for multiple means. So these beans can represent visual, verbal, written communication, differentiation in instruction, multiple different ways for students to engage. And one of my favorite examples of multiple beans is a menu project where students can choose what they want to do for their project. Now, out of the HIL model, which stands for History, Identity, Literacies, and Legacies, we have growing the 5 pursuit flowers. Instead of just focusing on skills, I will look at education from a more holistic standpoint and help students to develop identity, intellect, criticality, and joy. Now, what other tools can help our garden grow? Firstly, we have the sun, which is culturally and historically responsive education. CHRE is the sun because the sun shines on the entire garden, and I want CHRE to touch every single aspect of my curriculum. So every piece of the curriculum that I will implement, I want to think about how can I approach this from a culturally and historically responsive perspective. The next tool that I have are my sunglasses, which represent the artist habits of mind. This is a lens that I can use and that students can use to look at the various aspects of the curriculum and think about how can I view this through the lens of an artist. And finally, the most important tool that a teacher can use to nurture their students is the relationships, the teacher-student relationships. And the tools that we can use, the water droplets that go into that big watering can, are noticing, right? So every single interaction that you have is an opportunity for you to notice the attitudes, behaviors, curiosities of your students, and reflect on that and interact with the students and understand them. The next water droplet is transparency. I think that transparency, open communication, right, explaining the why is very important. Check-ins, right? This is just another great way that you can see how your students are doing, right? Gaining that knowledge, building that rapport. And then also we have community norms. These are ways that you can set guidelines, come up with a common vocabulary right from the beginning. And through using all of these tools to nurture the specific practices of our garden, we can help our students grow. Thank you for watching my action plan.